Does either one of you have anything even remotely interesting to tell me?
Caught my first tube this morning, sir.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel.
The Wizzel Shizzle.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel.
The Shizzle on the Wizzel.
With Jaymin Per.
All right, okay. Let's do it.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Shizzel on the Wizzel. Today in Speakertelt at River All-Stars headquarters, the Legion of Doom. We have, as always, Jaymin Rollins.
Big Porska egg to all you guys.
And then there is Ivar.
Hej Per, god dag.
Hallo, guten Tag. And a special guest for the first time in Speakertelt is Shann Ansley. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Stoked.
Cool to have you here,
man.
brother. Cool to have you here. We are,
Am I the first Safa?
In the speaker telt, I think. We had Peter
Yeah.
John by phone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But in the flesh.
Yeah.
In the flesh.
In person.
The first true African in the speaker telt.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. We had Peter John de Villiers, the Shallow Tree, on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. It's really good to have you here in the area. We can introduce Shannon to those who don't know him all that well. Shannon is, as we always like to bathe ourselves in celebrities of the surfing world. You are a celebrity in the surfing world.
He's more of a celebrity on Shark Week.
Yeah. Celebrity by accident, isn't it?
Well, you know, there's many ways to get there, you know.
Some take the easy path, but Shan.
Yeah. Anybody can jump on YouTube and get a little insight on what happened there. Very exciting stuff in your life, but much more exciting is moving to Norway, spending quite a few years up in Lofoten, and now come to the right side of the country. Settling down in Stavanger.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is it? How long have you been here now?
3 months. Super stoked. Lofoten is great, by the way. I'm sure some of you guys have been there. But
That's not what he said before.
But it was a very good time for a short season. And now I'm in the big city, Stavanger.
Yeah. All the surf fractions out here, the low lives, the punks. It's hard out here.
Yeah.
Really tough shit.
When I heard you moving down, I was actually stoked. It's good to have you here, mate. Yeah.
That's not what I heard.
Well, we'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
it's
but
good to
seriously,
have
it's really good to have you, mate. Like, it's timing wise, I think it's awesome, and I'm really stoked that you're passing the knowledge on. You know, building up the Norwegian surf standard, which is cool. Yeah.
As a good foreigner in Norway, contributing to society, and probably some news for somebody that you're also the coach of the national surf team. So that's, and you've been there for like 2 years now.
In Norway?
The coach, yeah.
Oh, the coach. I've been the coach for let's say 3 years.
Yeah. So we will talk about that at some other point. Now we will talk about Bells Beach.
Yes.
The last event just finished yesterday. It's like 6 weeks now since the last podcast where you were sitting very quietly, gloating in your Jaymin, in your success.
Pretty much just bathing in my claim no claim.
In your claim no claim.
Fantasy surfer picks. But the reason why I wasn't greasing it on, mate, is because
today
I got absolutely flogged at Bells. Oh my God.
I haven't even looked at. There were so many pages to flip to find your name, so I don't even know where. Or
I was kind of back there with the guys who actually threw a shitty team in for Pipeline. And,
the 0 point.
That was it.
It's but the soundtrack for Bells was kind of up
Well,
for you, wasn't it?
I kind of thought
Is that all you got, Jaymin?
I kind of really felt like it was more for how could I say, CrossFitters.
It was a really...
Really, I wanted to jump out of the chair, and I thought to myself, really? At least, can I take everyone back for a second? Can I just take everyone back for a second? All right, not that one.
Not that one.
All right, but this one. Okay. Now,
Portugal.
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 yeah,
How good was Portugal.
yeah, it was some kind of brainwashing going on with
It
the
was.
Brazilian samba, you
Yeah.
know. But you know what? In the end, I stayed sane and I didn't go crazy until I heard the bells tune. And I thought to myself, what's worse than a tune in your head that you can't get out that drives you crazy? A tune with words that's in your head that drives you crazy. So,
And I did that really good.
oh my God, is that all you got, Per?
That's all they had.
Yeah,
And some. So they had
so
to
anyway.
cancel the event the first day.
Yeah, just like to say thanks again for the WSL, for your mind games.
Yes.
They probably heard you complaining though and
Beautiful
tried
time.
to.
Did you like that?
That was really good. But you did shit, didn't you?
I didn't.
Just for if somebody didn't really recognize that you really did shit in this event.
Is that all you got, Per? Come on, you can do
I had
better
so
than
much
that.
more. I had so much more. By accident, I was in the lead for like 10 minutes or so, and in those 10 minutes, I managed to grab a screenshot of it
Yeah.
and gloat it as well as I could. And then I started to throw up in my fucking mouth when I saw that Ivar is just killing it.
So anyway, yes.
What the fuck happened, Ivar?
If you guys didn't realize, Eva was actually in the room still,
Yeah.
doing the claim, no claim.
It's kind of pulling yours.
Yeah. So tell us about your number 2 heat fantasy surfer victory. I'm just pulling up the stats
Number
now.
2.
I saw Per early
Talk
on.
us through it.
I saw Per early on going off with bragging about his own points and everything, and I thought I was going to do shit. And then I just started climbing. And I have to tell you, I've been on a family vacation in this Easter, so I haven't been close to any good internet line or anything. So I haven't watched a damn shit of the tournament. So the thing is, I had a strategy, you know. Do you remember what happened at Pipeline?
Yeah.
So all of the local surfers did really good at Pipeline. Right?
Yeah.
So what I did this time around, I took just all the Australians I could find, and I just filled up my team with Australians on the men's side.
That's a good strategy, man.
I've been waiting for the Brazilian storm to hit for a long while now. So I took Italo first, and then I thought I should take Felipe. But you guys have been raving about that. The Japanese Hawaiian.
Yes. Kanoa, thanks for...
Kanoa. So I just, for this time only, I decided to do him. It didn't work out so well, but so, and then I did Carissa and...
your girls' team was really
Sally.
good. Yeah.
And Tyler Wright, of course, because she was Australian as well.
Yeah.
I double tagged her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just went with the local boys
Mate,
and the local girls.
thanks for that.
And
You should have done as well, Jaymin. You should be a
Yes,
patron.
no. But see, what happens is I'm really good at overthinking it. And that's what I did this time. So I was a little bit unsure of who to back as far as John and also Kanoa. So I kind of overthought it and just thought, who would I pick? And then don't pick him, because every time I kind of gone with my gut, I've been wrong. So I double whammied myself. So I kind of thought too far ahead, as we all do. So I built my team around John losing to Zhurushanka, and come on, that was insane. That was like heat of the year. I think what was it, like 17 to 18 points? Yeah. And so, and then after that, I managed to, because I kind of built my team around that happening, then, all my pawns and queens and kings were...
it was pretty shit strategy,
Checked.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Should have gone with your homeboys, huh?
Yeah, I should have gone with my advice.
Yeah.
But instead, who would do that?
Well, don't use your own knowledge on yourself, mate.
Oh, no.
Knowledge is there to put it on the internet and tell everybody else what to do. Yeah,
No, I think that's the problem. No, because Well, when you've been following, you'd probably agree with this, Shannon. We've been following surfing for years, you kind of build up a certain gut feeling with surfers, you know. And if you're looking at the results and you can't always mix statistics with, it's like statistics versus being in form at the time versus maybe the surf break is similar to the one you have at home, or you know what I mean. You kind of think about all this stuff instead of thinking about just a little bit of stuff.
Well, I think I'm the worst player at all, like in the whole group, because I always choose the guys that I really like watching. I never choose who I think is gonna do well, and I never choose anyone who's got like a better seeding or. Yeah, so like for example, like I always choose Matthew McGillivray and Jordy Smith because they're South African,
yeah, exactly.
And they both did so bad. And
Matty, I felt so sorry for him. I thought he'd do really well. I really thought, thinking it was like J-Bay-esque, bells. Yeah,
it's a pity, man. But anyway, I think I need some coaching on how to play this game.
Yeah.
Ivar.
Yeah, no.
Please tell us, Ivar.
You're gonna have a problem when it comes down to J-Bay, though, because you only have 2 South Africans. You're gonna pick 8 people.
I know. I'll have like 6 open spots.
Just need those 2.
Still gonna do better than Jaymin.
Exactly. One on double points and one. That's it. I got the final set.
This is not some job flipping burgers at the local drive-in. Yes, the surfboard bothers me. Yes, your approach to this whole goddamn case bothers me. And yes, you bother me!
The Shizzel and the Wizzel
with Jaymin and Per.
But I think the best heat was that John and Joao heat. That was unbelievable.
That was
John
insane.
was surfing as well as he surfs, getting excellent scores. And then you had this rookie on tour from Brazil, Joao, who was giving it like 200%, and he could have beaten anyone that day, but not John. That was amazing. Such amazing surfing.
I don't know whether you got to see the interview with Joao after. Yeah,
No.
I think it was a heat or 2 after. It was him. He was so, he was so open and honest because he just realized that, what had happened, because he really thought he really wanted to win, obviously, because he's in that position, with a mid-year cut. But just his honesty and just the way he says, that was like the best I could do, and it still wasn't good enough. And I was thinking to myself, like coming up against John at Perfect Bells, I mean, there isn't really any on earth that could probably stand up to him, mate. You did yourself proud. That was incredible, that surfing he did. And it's like, it is definitely, you see John definitely looks more stable on his feet, but the way Joao surfs is with just that incredible, like, just no hell's barred. He's a madman, basically. If he sees a lip, he just wants to hit it as hard and fast as he can. He's almost like, he's almost pushing too hard on every turn. So it was interesting, really cool to see him. You know what I mean? Yeah, like have that heat. That was probably definitely the heat of the year, I'd say, so far. Yeah,
but there was a lot of commotion. There was so many heats. There were super close calls. Like I think Italo was not too very pleased with the outcome of his heat, and turned out to become a little bit of a commotion up in the Red Bull VIP.
Yeah, shame.
Exactly.
What happened?
Well, it was a very close heat with.
I think that was the one with Jack Robinson.
Yeah.
There was a bit of talk about that afterwards. There was definitely some commotion, but he, apparently he stormed up to the judging tower afterwards.
Yeah, he smashed some boards up in the VIP.
Really?
He's done that a couple of times.
Yeah. He loves his little karate chop.
And they're not really glassed, you know. They look much more stronger than they are, you know, like flimsy little boards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, so yeah, no, that was part of that event. The girls, Tyler.
Yeah.
Pew!
Tyler smashed it.
Huh?
And, you know, you could just see her momentum. I think I was saying before, Shannon, like as far as from the round, the second, third round in, John looks unbeatable. He was so on fire. And, you know, in those good waves, he was, he looked unstoppable. I was, so devastated I didn't have him on my team. You know, I was seeing knives go in. But, you know, as the conditions dropped, you know, close to the quarters, the semis, then you could see, you know, when it comes to that smaller wave surfing, you know, Philip Toledo he's really unstoppable.
Brazilian beach break condition.
Yeah.
Where you just go and rip the shit out of knee high,
hip
high.
He's like a high performance Formula One surfer in those small waves.
Yeah.
He's so on rail and So, but I think too, like, you know, on the TV, like the way.
Did you pick Felipe Toledo?
Yeah, I picked Felipe Toledo. You know, actually, I did my problem. I had 3 out of the last 4 guys actually in my team, but my power surfer was Kanoa. So, dun, dun. And as we know, power surfer has everything to do with your overall score. Yeah.
But Tyler, I mean, for those who watched it, the commentaries talks a lot about how she came back after her sickness. I wasn't really sure what.
She had like I think it was like a autoimmune type thing go on where she lost zero energy and all this kind of
Okay.
I think she basically hopped out of competition and she you know, and she was bedridden for months. She said she didn't have enough energy to walk to the fridge or go to the toilet. Poor thing. To go from such an elite level as an athlete to that must be heart-wrenching. So she built herself up mentally and physically, and this is the first time we really you could see she was back to her original form when
she said so. She felt herself.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Time. Yeah, mate, and she's been like twice in the finals at Bells.
Yeah, actually, this was her. Actually, no, hang on a sec. I don't think she's actually got. I don't know if Tyler. I think it's maybe her second one or third one. Anyway, sorry, I didn't get the stats on that. But she's had a couple.
She had a couple.
We'll give her a couple. But that was it was an amazing contest. You know, from the outset, it was all about the forecast because the forecast looked crap and everyone was like saying, "Oh, yeah, the waves are shit. It's not going to be good." And so, you know, like mentally, coming into it. It wasn't really. I mean, if you were thinking more, your surfing fantasy team, you were going maybe okay. This has room for upsets. You know what I mean? When the waves aren't that consistent, which usually happens. So when the waves turned on, and geez, there was like 3 or 4 awesome days where the surf was pumping, man. Yeah, proper Bell's Bowl, and you know there was those few little waves at Winky in the first 2 rounds, but overall it was fantastic up until Ethan Ewing paddled out in the semi-finals. You know, and wasn't that a bummer to see? I mean, like you can't go past Philip Toledo as far as competitive savvy. You know, like paddling straight up the point, and then you know, which could have been a completely shit call as well, because if there would have been a couple of sets, then even sitting down by himself in the bowl, he only needed to get 2 waves, and probably he could have easily taken him out. But then to sit there for 25 minutes and not one wave come in, oh my God. You can, as a coach, Shan, you can tell your surfers to, like, you know, as far as what they're in control of, you know, they should, you know, do their best to, you know, manage that. But when it comes to having heats where there's 35 minutes and there's not a wave for 20, I almost want to cry for Ethan. There was nothing he could have done there.
Yeah, but I think like when it comes to competing, you need to be able to adjust your strategy.
Yeah.
You have a strategy you stick with, and halfway in the heat, if you haven't had any waves, change it.
Yeah.
Paddle closer to the inside,
Yeah.
find those inside runners, because he's good enough to beat Felipe or to win the whole
He just
contest.
needed a good wave, eh?
Yeah, he waited way too long.
Yeah.
And I had him on my team and he lost.
Yeah,
I was quite pissed.
Yeah, but up until that point, he was, as far as, he just felt like he was definitely one of the standouts, besides John, who ran into an angry Felipe in the quarters.
Well, Callum Robson did quite well.
Yeah, as far as upsets go, geez, Callum.
And I had him as my double power man.
did? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
So
no, actually, you had Jackson Baker.
I had Jackson Baker. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big difference.
I wanted to have him as my double power man, but I had Jackson Baker.
You had the carnival strongman, Jackson
Exactly.
Baker.
Strong man.
He beat Geordie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did so. Now, but Callum, dude,
Callum did awesome. Yeah. I didn't see that one coming. Actually, all the way up to the, if you look at the quarters, it was Owen Ethan, and then it went to Felipe John, and then Callum, Miguel Pupo, and then Jack with Italo Ferreira. So as far as that quarterfinal goes, everyone other than Callum, you know what I mean, are like, like veterans. So, it was really good to see him come that far and get all the way to the final. That was insane. I kind of, like I said, they put the contest on hold after Ethan's heat. There was no chance, and there's no way you're going to send anyone out there with those 25 minute lulls in between sets. It's not possible to run a contest. So they ended up, I think, waiting for the tide to drop, and they had some contestable waves. The thing is, I think Bells, like I was saying before, it looks so good as far as picture, like an amazing surf, panoramic kind of atmosphere there. But I don't think, and the waves looked insane, filmed from the top of the hill, but, I don't think we realised how much the chop and the little kind of bits of north wind and stuff affected that face of the wave,
Yeah, they call that the devil wind, right?
Yeah,
it's the same in J-Bay in South Africa. When the devil wind blows, like, it looks so nice from the beach until you get onto the wave. But there's so many bumps and ribs in the wave, you can't surf it properly.
Just that little bit of chop, it's the difference between being able to lay in like 100 miles an hour and not, like it's like going into a corner with a Formula One car and a flat tire. You know what I mean? It's just like, you don't know. There's no way you can go 100%. So then it comes down to, that's why I think there was actually, I noticed there's a lot of guys falling in Bells on that head section because of that wind. You know what I mean? And I mean, let's face it. Like I said, it looks like a quite panoramic set up there at Bells. I surfed it when I was a kid, but actually I surf Winky. But anyway, it's such a like it looks like such a perfect wave, but it's so much harder. It's such a weird wave because apparently Kelly gave advice to a kid and said, you don't surf there's no bottom half of the wave. There's only the middle and the top. You know what I mean? And you see that when guys take off and basically just they're surfing, they're taking off and locking the rail and getting as far down the line as they can, instead of going out for a big bottom turn. So it's a racy wave. I think they did. I think actually. In the finals, they did well to get the waves they did, and just to finish it off. Because I mean, no matter what you think about, like in the contest, it usually comes down to the heats you remember most are the ones leading into the final. So to have a week of good waves and then deal with waist high was pretty
But
unexciting.
On the other hand, then once you come to the final, you've seen those two guys surf all those other heats, even in better conditions. As I said, at the end of the day,
Well, they both get the same conditions, don't they? So it's the person that does the best.
They're sitting in the same heat, and the one that adjusts the best to it and gets his.
But you must admit, like for Ethan paddling out and not getting a wave for 20 minutes like that, you just want the guys to both have the same amount of, at least the same amount of opportunity. But then, with 5 minutes to go, Felipe is just down and he's on him. You know what I mean? Paddles. I mean, it couldn't have scripted better for Felipe as far as tactician goes, and it was awesome.
That's what they said as well. Everybody that surfs this event has the bag full of the stuff that you need to surf that event. So what makes the difference is the strategy to your heat. Yeah, because you all can do the same things. Everybody can do
the level's that high. Yeah, of course.
Everybody has the same quiver of tricks and mostly abilities. Of course, like a John, they're a little bit outstanding in the right conditions.
As far as ability goes, they all surf at an
but they all
level.
serve at an adequate highest level. So it is the strategy that puts you apart.
Of course.
Yeah? And of course the rhythm part. Yeah,
well,
you can see it when somebody has the rhythm. Yeah, catches the set wave, comes out right to the next set wave. And somebody else just like you can see they're like stumbling through the sets because they're not in that rhythm. Not in that flow that the ocean is delivering. And,
Shannon, you can tell us all about that, Shan.
Yeah, totally, man. I think it's super important to catch the right waves. It's all about wave selection. So like. You'll see the guys who win the heats 90% of the time they'll be on the best waves.
Yeah.
And most times anywhere in the world, and this is a secret, the second wave or third wave is the best, not the first wave. And you'll see a lot of the guys who take off on the first wave will like get a lower score in the exchange.
Yeah. Did you know that was especially true in Bells? We saw that. That second wave of the set was so much better. Yeah. And it was almost.
But there was the times because Bells also was conditioned by the tide, and
hugely.
And there was this time frame where the first wave in the set, just for that period of time, was the better wave.
Well, I think towards the end there was sometimes only one wave in the set.
That as well.
So if you were banking on the second wave, I noticed a few times how the guy or the girl with I think it was in the girls' heat.
Yeah, I
think it was with Brissa and Carissa. I think she was like paddling out, and then there was only one wave. So it was like. He was banking on those two, and I mean the rhythm in the ocean up until that point was second wave of the set was the one, but it just goes to show it's not like we don't have lines drawn on the ground and saying if surfing is in this fluid environment, everything changes constantly, and it's basically right. Whoever does the best and actually takes advantage of the opportunities they get, those gets on the best waves, and if you're doing that, then chances are you'll come out victorious more than you won't. You know what? Just going over to the girls, it was cool to see Tyler come through and smash it for the Aussies. I heard some stats on one of the other podcasts. We were saying that. Through the Bells event, it's 59 years it's been running, right? And so Australia has actually had a winner ringing the bell in every at least once every 4-year period.
Yeah.
So this actually had been since. Yeah, 59 years.
That's why Callum should have won.
Well, I guess, the juju was on Callum to pull it out. But, But I kind of thought it was nice that Tyler did anyway for the ladies, so, yeah.
Hey, you're a real blue flame special, aren't you, son? Young, dumb, and full of cum. I know. I guess we just must have ourselves an asshole shortage, huh?
The Shizzel on the Wizzel
with Jaymin and Per.
Any highlights from the Bells guys? Like anything that stands out? How about what about Shannon? Any highlights from Bells?
For the girls or for the guys?
Well, I just think
In general.
in general, just for both. Was there anything that
I think, well, I watched some of the girls' heats and mostly the guys' heats, and I think Tyler is super impressive. I think all the rights are very impressive. Think about Owen's stories. Like, he's had so many insane injuries, and he should never have been able to surf again. And he's come back and he surfs at such a high level. Tyler Wright, the same thing. She's just come back from this sickness, and she's been like bedridden, and now she wins this contest. It beats all the girls.
And not to forget Mikey and his haircut. That mullet is. I was kind of thinking that is next level mullet. That thing is.
That's an Aussie mullet. You should get one too.
Yeah. I'm actually just growing the back, so I can chop in. Yeah. So
do you reckon Mikey goes around and is like, "What the fuck's gonna happen to me?" I mean, look at his siblings, you know, like his brother and sister, like scratching with like, well, chances are some shit's gonna happen.
Well, maybe he's like, he's fighting it off with that hairstyle.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Just say,
it's
look,
a disguise.
Yeah, and I think with Callum Robson from the guys impressed me the most because he came from nowhere. Like some of the guys on the commentary box said that like he came from nowhere. No one knew who he was. He obviously like was well known within Australia, but he wasn't even in the top 10 on the national circuit.
Yeah,
and then he wins like a 5,000 QS and then gets straight into the Challenger Series, qualifies, and he comes second in this contest.
Yeah, he started surfing when he was 15.
The crazy thing is, but Callum was actually, he was a coach, and he just went in. I think the story goes he wasn't even like thinking about surf career until he'd actually won some contests, and all of a sudden he was like, hang on a second. And then, it was awesome. Really good story. Yeah.
No, he's
Maybe I should start competing, eh?
Yeah.
37-year-old coach.
Mate, dude.
Perfect.
Kelly's there, 50 years old.
Kelly's 50.
Kelly's making us all feel bad. Yeah, so there's hope for everyone.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up there with...
Was that the only highlight?
No.
Well, your highlight is number 2?
Yes.
We all...
I can't contribute anything. I'm sorry.
Your highlight was just coming home to the glory and...
Your highlight was the claim, no claim.
Yeah.
Just sitting there like with... Yeah. So anyway... Moving on. What about any highlights for you, Per?
I'm enjoying my highlights.
Sorry, Shan, were you finished with your... You brought up Callum, otherwise...
I was finished, yeah.
You can't have too many highlights.
Yeah, my highlights.
Don't hog them all. Well, the good thing is I reckon there was a few highlights in Bells. Per, please elaborate on your...
My highlights are very closely connected to your downfall.
Yeah.
So the win over John was one of the highlights.
Yeah.
All these heats, they were really, really good.
Yeah.
The ones that you lost.
Anyway, moving on from that, keep scrolling, everyone. Now, highlights for me, I think, was that heat with Zhao Shanker.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it was my low light because it destroyed my fantasy team. So, it was a little bit of yin yang. But I think Callum, for sure, that's definitely insane. And I think the highlight was probably John in those third round heats when the waves were pumping. That was like insane. It was good to see the Aussies actually coming through. And there was a few... as far as mid-year cut, there was quite a few people that saved themselves. And there was also a few that didn't. So...
Yeah, see, there is another topic of interest. The participation, the petition, for reversing or dropping the half-year cut.
Yeah, if you've been listening to any surf media in the last probably 2 days
any
after
serious
Bells,
surf media,
anything with any actual value or substance, no. So tell us a little more, Per. We can.
Yeah, there's I think it was like 29 surfers that signed the list that they sent to the WSL CEO to revoke the whole media cut, which he pretty much answered to
Eric Logan, CEO,
Eric
said.
Logan, says
Bam,
nah,
bam. He
nah.
just said, computer says no.
Computer says no.
What was
not
the
really.
reasoning?
Huh?
What was the reasoning again?
As Jaymin also says, it wasn't really clear from the beginning on how they're gonna do it, how they're gonna be doing the cuts and everything, and it kind of became clear during sunset. So they feel it's pretty harsh since it's so many years of work and blood and tears and trying to qualify and getting into the tour, and then you get 5 events and have to clear deck.
Yeah. So they had
which is pretty cutthroat for something that you worked your whole life on, even though you're maybe only 18 years old or so.
Well, they had a mid-year cut previously, and it wasn't the best thought-out plan because they didn't have this Challenger series to back it up. So, but the thing is with the whole coup. Well, it's not really a coup, but the thing is the surfers do have a lot of control. You know, so it should be interesting to see what happens. But the thing is, the Surfers Union, what they do have, was told about and asked to approve the new system, and they did that. So it's kind of a little bit like boom peng in Norway. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to complain once all the booms are actually set up. You know, like the work needs to be done. Like
way before
when we're talking approval process, and you know that's what you want to. But you know, like up until now, you know, guys that have trained and, you know, they have, you know, this kind of step ladder they have to go through to work their way up the ranks, okay? So they do train and they compete and, you know, collect points, and then the top 10 are given the right to go up into the A-League, and then the 10 shittest in the A-League go down and they have to requalify, right? So up until now, there's been a system, and everyone knows that system. The sucky thing is, I think the new system, you can talk about it too, Shannon, if you've got some ideas, but the new system I think is good because it gives a little bit more rotation. You don't get you know, if you're good enough, you'll be in that top 10, 20, whatever. You know what I mean? The crappy thing is, a lot of these guys that have just got on tour, you know, they've worked their way, and they're the ones I kind of feel like Zhao Xianka at that level, you know, like qualifying and then being a low seed and coming up against John or Italo or whatever, you know, like, you know, straight off the bat. It's tough for him. He has to beat the best in the world. Like these guys are finals. Every heat he has is a final. You know what I mean? He's surfing it. So it sucks for them. But I think once we're past the process, then, you know, the only ones it's not really fair for are the ones that qualified this year. But up until next year, it's fair for, you know, it's fair for everyone. So, you know, it sucks for guys like Zhao and, you know what I mean, Connor Leary. There's I don't know actually if Connor might be on them, but there's a lot of good surfers on the cut. Owen is
because they also threatened to boycott the Margaret River contest.
Did they?
So that's going to be interesting to see if they
go through with it.
If they go through with it and have the muscles to.
Well, if they boycott it, then there are a lot more surfers who would love to surf that contest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you have to watch out. You know, if you're like 30 guys and we're like, no, there's 3,000 other guys ready to surf that contest.
Easy.
Exactly.
You know? So you will be replaceable quickly.
What's your take on the cutoff, Shan?
It's a tough one. There's so many pros and cons, but I do agree with Jaymin. Like, I think it's kind of good for the rotation. There's so many good surfers on the QS and the Challenger series that honestly could beat many guys in the World Tour on the CT, and it would be so good to see them on those kind of waves. So that's the one side of it. But on the other side, like the people like Joao who come into the contest as a low seed competing against the best seeds, it's a bit unfair for him having to not make the cut mid-year, you know. So if he had more chance and opportunity to get his rankings and his points up, and then towards the end of the year have a higher seed to get better results, you know, he's better than at least half the guys on the CT. By the way he served against John.
Yeah.
So there are pros and cons to both, and you're always going to have people who are on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the whole thing with the competitions. It's like everybody except one is going to lose, you know.
True.
So there will always be losers, you know. You have to determine how they're going to lose.
If you want to win it, you're going to have to find a loser too, you know.
And you've got 40 people. There's only one winner.
Mentally, I can understand. I mean, you go through all the competitions to get qualified and everything, and you build towards a goal in your head, and you celebrate like crazy when you make it.
And then the mall is kind of changed.
And then you have to face John, and then you're out.
Yeah,
and the competition isn't even finished.
Yeah,
like,
it is a bit understandable. Like,
I can understand
for those guys, for those younger guys. But like I said, once we're talking next year, you know what I mean? Then it's kind of fair for everyone. You know what I mean? But
the change has to go.
Yeah, the change always will burn someone. And I mean, like, it sucks these guys didn't get a full year. But, for the guys that are going to qualify mid-year or next year, you know what I mean? It's good for them. So
exactly. And I think it's good for the sport.
You always feel there is always going to be someone who, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
I mean, it's very easy. We're just looking at which is going to be another subject when we be talking about coaching the national team. But look at the Groms that we know that are living in Oz, you know, that are family kids from our circle of friends that are super talents. You know, and that will at some point give them the opportunity, you know, that we want them to have.
Yeah.
You know, not to struggle your life off in the QS but with the challenges you have the opportunity to actually get there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think just one last point for the surfers though. I think it was a little bit harder for them with those COVID times as far as financially getting around. The top 10 guys in the world are all making ridiculous money, but, you know, for the Matthew McGillivrays who have to pay for all their travel and, you know what I mean, you know, they don't have maybe the huge sponsors or, you know, they're not given like, you know, the open checkbook. It does make it a little bit more... Because once you qualify, you even just to turn up and surf, you well and truly make a decent living for that year, you know. So, yeah, for guys that aren't, you know, that are kind of given ultimatums about their contracts as far as won't they qualify, you know, for this year. That kind of sucked, but I can understand to a certain point. But hey,
I reckon they have all good agents that are taking stuff like that into consideration as well when they're signing contracts and saying it's like, all right, the rules have changed. We have to have a different type of a contract.
Yeah. Well, maybe who knows what's going to happen. But did anyone notice the little?
Not my money. I don't give a shit.
That's a surfboard, all right. Looks like a 57 Chevy I used to have.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel
with Jaymin Per.
Yeah, but did anyone notice actually WSL has a new sponsor? I got it on my Instagram.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Did you see?
No.
A collaboration with
IKEA.
No way.
Yes.
So cool.
WSL line at IKEA now.
You know what? That is, you know.
What's it called again? Course Belgium or something like that?
Yeah. I actually sent a message to Wes and I was like, Wes, you guys have got a new summer bite, you know. And of course, Wes thought I was kicking him in the balls and he went, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just run the WS. And I said, mate, this is news. This is like fucking the best thing that could happen to surfing. You know, like corporate sponsor. IKEA's not going to want their, you know, Swedish sponsored surfers to, you know, get a wild card into any events. It gives, you know what I mean? It opens up opportunities for maybe, you know, different wild cards who actually have, need that position to qualify because they have zero betydning in surfing. IKEA doesn't hold any power in surfing. They don't care. So to get an open checkbook from IKEA, I mean, that's great. That's fantastic.
Maybe they should have like an IKEA Open in Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's
Have
like
a 2-year waiting period.
yeah, and it's like you have to like put like a sofa together and a set of chairs.
You have to surf the sofa.
Yeah, and then you kind of like
Couch surfing, next level shit. Man.
or maybe like
I promise you, this is gonna be one of the fucking ad campaigns of them already. Couch surfer with WSL.
you pull out your surfboard in a box and you'll build it on the beach, and then you'll go out for your heat.
Perfect. I've got 4 more screws here. Fuck.
Oh my god! Yeah,
No,
classic.
but I think it's really good. What it does is it's pretty much as I can see it as we have the Crown Prince of Norway, who is the surf godfather in Norway. That's IKEA. You know, it's one of the biggest companies in the world that's privately owned, which is has a kind of a very clean reputation. Yeah, it's accepted by everybody. Everybody has been to IKEA or has some IKEA at home. You know.
Yeah.
Everyone has been battling IKEA and furniture.
Legitimized.
Everyone's been waiting for a girlfriend at IKEA.
I mean, man, in the 80s, it was a cocaine and heroin sport-driven machinery. The ASP tour, they were all on it like crazy, you know. And IKEA wouldn't have sponsored the Surf World Tour at that point, but which means
Gunston would sponsor
there's
the
a
500 down there at Jeffrey's. Oh, that's right, they did. Yeah, tobacco.
Yeah. So there's a cleanup campaign that has been done, you know, and IKEA wouldn't sponsor the Catholic Church. That would be too dangerous, you know. That is bad reputation shit. But
Surfing is better than pedophile priests.
Hey, well, you cannot deny the evidence. So
No, you're saying they want to. There's a nice clean face on surfing, and you know, and actually, just to add something extra, that show, you know, the one we talked about, the Drive to Survive, Eric Logan announced the other day that this first series will be released on Apple TV at the end of the month. It should be really interesting. Did you ever see any of those Drive to Survives? Was about. It was like a documentary with Formula One race, and they went into the lives and behind the scenes, and you know, with the family and how they felt after their losses, and it was awesome. Like, I wasn't really into Formula One, and I watched this series, and I was like, "Bang on, this is sick! It's so good."
They should do one on Italy.
Interest and everything.
Yeah, well, just completely, and apparently, it changed the face of. It brought this huge new audience to Formula One that didn't, because no one really understood it before. Yeah,
seriously, one of the biggest groups that are girls. Formula One racing is a guy sport to watch, you know.
But there's a lot of girls.
But because of the TV show, there's a drama. You know, the backstory. You know, the feuds. You know, the whatever. So that makes it super interesting, and then you watch it with totally different eyes. Yeah, you know, it's like we have Fantasy Surfer. Remember before we played it, you know, you watched, as you said, you watched the heats after who you really like, the style you like, or whatever person you like. No, we're watching it, it's like, okay, fuck, man. It's like, shit. Yeah. You're watching it with a different eye.
Yeah, totally. You're supporting your team that's beating Jaymin's team, and then
you have so much more invested.
Everyone's beating everyone, so it's a bit of a different feeling.
Yeah. You have so much more invested, eh? Yeah, really.
Just got some glory.
But you put a face and a personality onto the driver or onto the surfer or anything. It should be good, huh?
It's going to be awesome. So I recommend that'll be my recommendation for. Yeah, probably, I actually can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll really change, just like, you know, just like they have even with filming the surfing the last few years with the drone. You know, like the whole, it's kind of, you're getting to see it from like a 360 degree, and now you get to go back behind into these guys' lives, because a lot of the guys they aren't so very. You know, so it should be interesting to see what the stemming is behind the.
Do you reckon at some point we're gonna have virtual surfing ranches, where you just sit in this virtual thing and you're on this board and you're placed at the Jobs or you're placed at J-Bay, you know, because you have all that. I think that's That is something
That's
to
a
watch out.
whole new big topic for
That's
a later
something to
time,
watch
I
out.
reckon.
We take
Because
that. We take that one later.
We will.
But you
That
heard
could
it
happen.
first here. In Speakerhead.
Maybe you can do like an extra little special lift out.
Virtual Wizzel.
Yeah. Hey, but Margaret River
Margaret River.
in 5 days' time. It's counting down. So,
Oh, it's so close, yeah.
yeah. It's the cool thing is they're in Australia.
It's just taking the train over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in. It starts on the 24th of April. So it's the 18th today. Yeah, it's like 5 days. And the cool thing is, because they're in Australia, they got 4 days to get across the country. It took about 4 days last time I drove, so they should be right. They should be there for the first heat.
Just make it.
Yeah, they should just make it. Let's hope there's crappy waves for the start of the window. But no, so
Have you seen the forecast?
well, I don't know whether I can. I haven't seen the forecast. No,
Okay.
I haven't looked. But there seem to be, I don't know, like these swells that you kind of get that travel across the bottom of Australia. Basically, you'll have. They actually start over in the west and work their way over to the right. So it's a similar kind of weather pattern that actually hits the bottom of Western Australia as it does Bells. A lot of that's, you know what I mean? Probably the same one heading straight over to
South Africa.
to your place,
Yeah.
Shan, dropping in. But so it's a good time of year because the ocean's alive and there's going to be plenty of swell. So the thing is with Margaret's, even if it says it's only going to be, you know, like 6 to 8 foot, you know, it's that place is so much energy, open swell. It turns into they're 8 to 10 foot normally, you know, and even this year there's a good chance they're going to try and run some heats out the box, which would be insane.
That's what I love about this event, because you have Margaret River, but you have the box too, and that is so epic.
Yeah,
And
it's
to see
awesome.
John and Jack Robinson in those kind of conditions, it's amazing.
I kind of feel like Margaret's is an easy, as far as it comes to picking a team for Margaret's, I think it feels like an easier choice. The wave is a little bit more specific, and if you look to see who was performing when there was like
last word.
Yes. If you look to see who was performing at Bells, you know what I mean? Similar temperature water, you know what I mean? When you saw the big days at Bells, you could see, you saw who really turned it up and who didn't.
Right, who's in the final, Jaymin?
For Margaret's, it'll be John surfing against Owen Wright.
Okay, what do you think?
No, sorry, Jack Robbo.
Oh, I'm going to say John as well, and I'm going to go with a South African, Jordy Smith.
Hey,
Yeah, brah.
before we get the right answer from the Oracle of Wisdom over there, I'm going with the Carnival Strongman.
Okay.
Justin Baker.
He and man, Callum. I see these two getting there.
Oh, wow. That's a huge call.
But
I think,
You said already what you're gonna say.
No, but I'm just kind of think. Remember that, like saying, there's such a huge diversity between big left at Margaret, and then the right as well at Margaret on the peak, and then the box. They're like you have this crazy, huge, big slabby.
Two different
It's
surfer
all
types.
heavy water conditions, basically.
But at the same time, they both give you the same amount of. They both scare you, as much as each other, because it's deep, heavy ocean water, and the guys that basically will charge no matter what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guys that'll throw themselves over the ledge, at any cost, will probably either make or break.
Boards to
Well,
the
you-
walls, basically.
Yeah.
You do have Jadson, who always throws himself over the
Yeah.
ledge, but
Crazy.
he never makes it.
Crazy.
I love that guy. He's so cool to watch.
Yeah. He always has a go. For sure. He charges. What about? Are you going to ask the Oracle?
I'm going to go with Jack Robinson, I think.
All right. You heard it.
And
you heard it here.
But I
Can
mean,
check it
there
out
was
here.
no. I mean, you guys did as well, didn't you? So, how about 2 Australians in the finale. Is that possible for men?
Most likely.
And 2 Australians for the women as well, huh?
Yeah.
This is is that the first time
Callum
the
and
girls
Jack?
surf Margaret River?
I think they've all been there. It's
Yeah, but like as a official contest.
maybe
think-
not. The thing is, Margaret's used to be like it wasn't as far as within Australia. They had like when they had the CT, there was always events at Margaret. So most of the guys that have been competing or where they are now have been on some kind of circuit where they surf Margarets. It's like Bells. It's one of those places that there's always like we have the Australian titles or the state titles or whatever. It's always at those well-known locations. So the guys have surfed it at some.
Yeah, the guys, the girls.
At some stage. The girls, I think last year were they with, but
In the Corona year.
yeah, but I think even picks for the girls. I think all the Hawaiian girls will kind of feel a little bit more comfortable out there.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, there is a few charges like within the rookies, for the girls. India Robinson, she charges, and Molly Picklum, she charges. But I think it's going to be. I think it'll be Carissa, Joanne, maybe Brissa, one of those.
Betty Lou, maybe.
Betty Lou.
I've been waiting for Jack Robinson to come along and do good. So
Yeah.
should be his time to shine.
That's actually Jack Robbins. He's probably he'd be one of the favourites for sure. Yeah.
Especially the Bucks.
Oh, especially the box. Yeah, he's an animal out there. Remember, even Italo, he charges out there. He was But I think that's where we really saw last. I can remember a heat with Jack Robinson and Felipe Toledo. And it was like, I don't know, I think Jack was a wild card. This was this was a couple of years back. And
Felipe never caught a wave.
you remember? He got
was
maybe
one
one
wave,
or two.
yeah.
He got one or two waves, and you could just see that like Jack was there, just like out there by himself. Like could pick off any of the
remember
monster
that
slab waves. He knew he could just paddle straight into them. So, it's it'll be interesting to see if the conditions turn out how they are. If they get really good, it'll probably have a little bit to do with who you put on your team, because there's got to be. Yeah, you want to have someone doesn't want to hold back.
I'm interested in your choices when they come.
All right.
All right, dudes. Should we just wrap this one up?
Yeah, we should wrap
I
it.
think we extracted everything we could out of belts. 6 more days, and it's on again. Margaret River. Until then, we'll see. Say we hear each other then after Margaret River.
We just forgot one thing. Do we have a premiere for?
Of course. Yes, we have to announce that.
Thanks for help. Yeah,
That's why you're the second winner.
Is there?
Yeah, it's Helena, right?
I think so. Side boobs.
Side boobs. Since you had the side boobs here last week, you're the best one qualified to
We
know.
think side boobs is Helena.
actually, come on,
Yeah.
come on, guys. Like we got
It's
to
been
give.
difficult, huh?
We got to give the girls, the side boobs, some stats here. Like seriously, 817 points. That was so well done. I think it was like 200 in the universe, 200th in the universe. Yeah, so awesome job. Number 2 as well. We've already heard him gloating, but really well done, Ivar. That's freaking awesome, man. That's really cool.
Thanks.
We
Yeah,
have
good job.
heard him not gloating.
Yeah,
Gloating.
So there was some. Yeah,
Yeah, the girls are good. I saw Plingy.
Even she beat.
she did.
I stole your thunder, player. I'm sorry.
Who didn't? Who didn't beat?
Yeah.
So because there's a lot of people that actually did not join the competition. So I think you're pretty much at the end of the line there, aren't
Mate,
you?
I got 45th. If anyone wants to see my crap team, but then again, we could have a look at overall.
Oh, overall, who cares overall?
2 men.
Live in the
but
moment, live in the
just
now, my friend.
Number
live
3
in the
this
now.
event, Bushman 64. Number 4, Dr. Bergan. Number
Yeah.
5, Big Kahuna. Number 6, Seaside Master. Number 7, Mahalo. Number 8, Shark. Number 9, Cook for the win. Number 10, Björk. There we go.
I made number
That was-
16, which means as long as I'm on the front page, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
That should be like everybody that sitting here in a podcast should be able to make the front page.
And
We actually,
I don't see you.
But
I don't see you in the overall front page. I'm 12, and where are you? You actually beat me 10th.
actually 10th. Huh?
Yeah, I can't see you. Anyway,
Anyhow, enough.
Big ups to all of these people.
hey,
We'll probably be back in about 2 weeks.
yeah, we're probably back in about 2 weeks. So yeah, to all those guys who freaking killed it in Bells, congratulations. They do have some prizes.
Yeah, and
We're gonna mention
Helena will contact you, and hopefully you can join in and spread your wisdom in the next episode. Otherwise, we'll shower you with gifts from our great sponsors, from Lufoot and Surf Center, from surfshop.no, and the Surf Shop. These are our
and Surf
happy contributors to make your life just a little bit more bright.
Yeah, just to get a little bit more cutthroat with your fantasy picks.
Exactly. There will be gifts. So Helena, hopefully we'll get in touch and see what we can do until next time. That's it.
All right. Hey, and with that, can I just can we just leave?
Is that all we had now?
No.
Is that all we got now?
Yeah, you know what?
Is
if we
it?
could just leave, I'd just like to leave
The on high
everyone.
note.
Just like to leave everyone with.
Was there more?
Just like to leave everyone with a little bit of
Is there anything
brain
else?
damage. Is that all you got, Per?
That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
Is that all you got?
It's like a.
Is that all you got? It honestly.
Gillette razor commercial.
No, I'm thinking a little bit more like it's like it's like some kind of CrossFit championships coming up, and is that all you got?
Hey, by the way, I just read an article about the disappointment of Norwegian women when it comes to orgasms. Maybe that's their fucking theme song.
Yeah.
All right, and with this, Bob, we'll say goodbye.
And with that,
bye-bye.
and with that, we'd like to apologise to everyone listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
The Shizzel on the Wizzel.
The Wizzel Shizzle.
The Shizzle on the Wizzel.
The Shizzle on the Wizzel.
With Jaymin Per.